In this episode of Prep School, we're talking about our 30-day weight loss meal plan and making some delicious recipes from the plan, starting with our slow cooker curried butternut squash soup. Let's get started. So what I love about this slow cooker soup is that it's really easy to prep ahead. And we're gonna start by cutting our butternut squash in half, peeling it, getting all the seeds out, and then cubing it up. I'm gonna start by taking this top nodule off. You gotta be careful. Butternut squash, they can be kind of hard. So I like to start in the middle and bring the knife down. And it might take a little bit of adjusting. There we go. And really a sharp knife makes all the difference. So before I get to peeling, I'm gonna go ahead and scoop out the seeds here in the middle. And you just need a spoon to do that. So I just have my flat peeler here, and I'll just start by going down the whole squash. And you wanna kind of get off that top layer of skin, obviously, and the little bit of white that it leaves behind, because that's a bit tough. So when you start seeing more of the orange, you've peeled enough. You could, of course, do the step before, you cut it in half too, whatever feels easiest to you. So this recipe makes enough for 8 servings, and we chose a recipe like this for the meal plan so that you could have some for dinner and then you can save the rest for a meal down the road. So this butternut squash soup is dinner for one night and then lunch a few other days during the week. And when you're trying to make any kind of health change, lose weight, eat for a healthier heart, better balance your blood sugars, giving yourself a break and doing recipes like this where you can eat them multiple times is a great strategy. So this is a wonky type of vegetable, but the nice part is the soup gets pureed, so it doesn't have to be perfect. So just rough chunks, if you can keep them as close to the same size as possible, that helps everything cook evenly. So the fresh butternut squash definitely gives this soup some extra flavor, but going with the peeled or cubed or even frozen butternut squash is a great meal prep shortcut. We can just go ahead and pop our butternut squash directly into our slow cooker. I really like that this recipe doesn't require any sauteing on the stove top to start. We can really just chop, add everything in there, and let the slow cooker do the rest of the work. So next up is our onion. Chop it in half here. Get rid of this little root here. And you can go ahead and give it a peel. So as this onion cooks, it gets nice and sweet and really complements that butternut squash well. And now we can get to chopping. So I'm gonna go ahead and go in half here while keeping that root intact. And into the slow cooker the onion goes. And now onto our flavor boosters. We have 4 teaspoons of curry powder, a half a teaspoon of garlic powder, and 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt. And we'll pop this right into the slow cooker. And then along with that, we have our broth. So we have 3 cups here and we're just gonna pour it right in. So that is all that goes into the slow cooker right now. The butternut squash, the onion, the broth, and the spices. We're gonna give it a stir and get it cooking, and then the rest of the yummy ingredients can go in when it's almost done. So you can time this recipe one of 2 ways. If you're gonna be gone out of the house all day, you can set it on low for 7 hours, or if you want it a little bit quicker, you can set it on high for 3.5 hours. Soup is cooking, and now we are going to make some lunch. Part of this meal plan, actually a big part of this meal plan, is meal prepping and using those ingredients in different ways to make yummy meals throughout the week. So we are gonna make a curried chicken wrap. So this is not any old boring chicken salad recipe, although I love a good classic Waldorf chicken salad. This one incorporates some apple for sweetness and a little bit of curry powder too to kind of mirror what we're doing with the soup. A nice part about this recipe is that you can make a big batch all at once and you have your chicken salad ready for the week, or you can just make a single serving at a single time. And so we already went ahead and meal prepped some chicken thighs. So this is a sheet pan chicken thigh recipe. It's super easy. It's great to double, triple, quadruple, so you have chicken to use in different ways throughout the week. So we are gonna start by chopping up one of our chicken thighs. We need about a cup of chicken total. And we're gonna continue chopping here. So we need half a cup of chopped apple. And I'm using a Granny Smith today. This is just a nice tart apple. It works wonderfully in this recipe. I'll just cut around the core. I might only need half of this apple. We're gonna try to match that size dice that we just did the chicken. It's about a quarter or so chopped, and I'll go ahead and do a little more of this half here. Now, typically you find grapes in a chicken salad, but this apple I think is really yummy. Somehow just works really well with that extra little bit of curry sauce that we're gonna mix in. And then next up is some red onion. And we only need about 2 tablespoons here. And I'm gonna do this dice a little bit smaller than the other 2. That is 2 tablespoons there. So in it goes. All of our ingredients are chopped here. And now we're gonna go ahead and mix in some mayonnaise. And we're also cutting this mayonnaise with a little bit of Greek yogurt. So it helps to cut down on the overall fat content. And then for a little kick of flavor is our curry powder. Now we can just mix it up. Here we go. I like that this chicken salad has just as much apple as it does chicken, really. So I always say this, but when it comes to making any health change, you of course don't need to follow a meal plan to make that change happen. But meal plans can be really nice in that they provide the inspiration you might need to figure out exactly what to eat and how to piece your breakfast, lunch, and snacks together to create a healthy day of eating. And this meal plan has 30 days of that. And now that is that, we can go ahead and assemble our wraps. I just have some whole wheat wraps here. And to make this a satisfying and filling enough lunch, you get 2 per serving. And to add some more veggies to the salad, we're gonna add in some baby spinach. And we're gonna start by layering our wraps with a little bit of the spinach. Now the trickiest part is always not overstuffing your wrap, so I'm gonna try very hard not to do that today. And on top of our spinach, we're gonna go ahead and do our chicken salad. Yeah, my mouth is watering. I'm ready to eat lunch. It's always good to have some toothpicks on hand to keep your wraps together. So I'm gonna take a few out here and let's get to wrapping. And we've got 1 wrap and we've got wrap number 2. Before it falls apart, I'm gonna adjust with a toothpick. And let's see this beautiful cross section. Yum. I'm gonna clean up a little bit and then I'm gonna go take this lunch and enjoy, and we'll let this soup finish cooking. Before we can dig into the soup, there are a few last steps. So we have some coconut milk here. We're gonna go ahead and add this to our slow cooker. And then we are gonna blend it all up using an immersion blender. Here we go. Yum. For some toppings, I have some fresh cilantro here. Yum. And also some fresh lime. Here we go. Cheers. Ooh, that's so yummy. The curry flavor really comes through, and that fresh lime on top is perfect. So there you saw just how easy it was to prep 2 meals from our 30-day weight loss meal plan. You can find these recipes plus so many more on EatingWell.com. Thanks for watching, happy cooking, and I'll see you next time on Prep School.